Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to our Hall of Fame show, we're calling it. Here's why. Listen to this lineup. NFL Hall of Famer Steve Largent with us to talk about the NFL playoffs. Kansas Hall of Fame basketball coach Ted Owens is here to talk about their recent 125th basketball reunion of the Jayhawks up in Lawrence, Kansas. Chili Bowl wrap. We'll wrap it up with Emmett Hahn, who's going to be a Oklahoma Sports Hall of Famer in future years. Of course, the Chili Bowl, 37th annual, with a great finish there for us. And Oral Roberts University basketball legend is going to go into their Hall of Fame. Caleb Green will be here to talk about his amazing career at Oral Roberts University. In Golden Eagles baseball, another Hall of Famer. Their baseball coach, Ryan Folmar, the invitation to you to their baseball diamond dinner coming up. Now let's go to the hot topics. OU signee quarterback Jackson Arnold has been named the Gatorade National Player of the Year. The first time OU has ever had a National Player of the Year. Enroll at OU. He's enrolling in for the spring semester. He was a consensus 5-star, top 13 national prospect, the 7th highest rated recruit OU has ever signed, and is rated the top quarterback in the nation by ESPN this year. Arnold went 28-3 in 2 seasons nationally in Denton, Texas Geyer High School. He compiled more than 7,000 passing yards, 67 touchdown passes, just 3 interceptions. He averaged 10.4 yards a pass attempt, rushed for almost 1,000 yards, and scored 24 touchdowns on the ground. Already enrolled at OU. Oklahoma gymnastics team, the ladies are #1 still. University of Oklahoma reigning 5-time national champion and the reigning champions, ranked #1 after winning last week's Super 16 Nationals, big national competition in Las Vegas, Nevada. Lady Sooners have a meet January the 16th at #6 LSU. Then they open their home season coming up on January the 22nd. 6:45 this Sunday, Lloyd Noble Center. They'll be hosting third-ranked Utah. No high school shot clock for Oklahoma. Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Association Board of Directors rejected in a close 8-7 vote a motion to adopt a 35-second clock for high school basketball in the state for classes 6A down to 3A. Survey had showed a majority of those coaches supported that move, but the shot clock got shot down by getting no support from the lower division schools. Here's a TU Pizza Challenge. How about this? You now can be part of the University of Tulsa's attempt to set a Guinness World Record for the largest pizza party. Try it this Saturday, January the 21st at 5 p.m. before Tulsa's basketball game against Tulane. All you need is a game ticket. They're as low as $5. Come in, eat all the pizza you can. Sign up and be part of the Guinness World Record attempt. Get the details on TU's website. Ice Holders, after a season record high over 14,000 fans the week before, split 2 home games before losing at Wichita on Sunday afternoon. Tulsa is back on home ice, the BOK Center, this Friday and Saturday against the Utah Grizzlies. Puck drops at 7:05. Oilers season and group tickets are on sale. Call the Oilers office at 918-632-7825 or visit their website, www.tulsaoilers.com. Next, we'll have TU and former NFL Hall of Famer Steve Largent here. Talk about the NFL wildcard games, located at the division championships as well. Also get Steve's comments on some of the hot topics of college football and his thoughts on TU's new football coach, Kevin Wilson. Steve Largent, a legend here, TU All-American, NFL Hall of Famer, Steve Largent, next right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Glad you're with us.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Don't miss out on $250,000 Red Spin returns. Saturdays in January, we'll draw 40 winners to play in our VGT tournament with a $10,000 top prize each tournament. Start earning entries January 1st at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa. Tulsa's top spot for a good time awaits you. Come experience award-winning entertainment and nightlife. Escape and relax. Savor every bite. Then bring it all in for your encore. Only at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa. Voted Tulsa's best.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine in, curbside, or carry out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank. We never forget it's your money.
Look who's here to talk NFL football playoffs with us, the great Hall of Famer of the Seattle Seahawks, former TU All-American, Steve Largent. Steve, always good to see you back here, my friend.
Chris, good to see you.
I know you were out there last week trying to get you on the show, and of course I'm in Seattle. What was going on in Seattle last week?
Well, Seattle, they have an award that they give to the a player on the team that exemplifies good play on the field as well as commitment to the community. And
named the Steve Largent Award,
it's the Steve Largent Award. Yeah, it's really it's a cool thing to be able to be a part of that. But the neat thing is that Tyler Lockett, a TU guy, not Tulsa University, a Tulsa guy, has won it for the second year in a row. So that was really kind of a cool thing to be there and to give that to Tyler.
Well, before we go through some of the wild card games, look ahead to the division playoffs, the Super Bowl. Let's talk about that very scary moment during the Bills-Bengals game a couple weeks ago when their Buffalo safety, Damar Hamlin's heart stopped on the field, revived there, saved his life, and scary moment for everybody.
Yeah, it really. I mean, it was a miracle in action.
Yeah.
And I was praying for Damar, and I know a lot of other people were too. And he is recovered, and that's the good news. I would suspect that he'll never play football again.
Well.
I don't know, but I would suspect that. But I think it was really a miracle that he's alive.
Thank goodness for that. Well, let's take a look now at the Super Wild Card weekend just completed. It started Saturday with your old team, Seattle Seahawks. Great first half.
Well, the Seahawks exceeded everybody's expectations this year. Trading away Russell Wilson and everything else. They got 2 rookie tackles that they were starting the whole year. They had a bunch of injuries in their defense. So they were really fortunate to be in the playoffs in the first place. But to have all the moving pieces that they had on their team and to be successful as they were, I think is a credit to their coach. I think he's done a great job, and Pete Carroll always puts out a good product, and he did again this year. But I think it was basically a test run for the Seahawks.
Right.
Next year, I think they'll have a team that's even better than this year.
49ers pulled away in the second half to win that wild card game, 41-23, led by Brock Purdy, from Iowa State quarterback who became known as Mr. Irrelevant. He was the 262nd player, the last player taken in the NFL draft. What a performance, record performance for that kid.
Yeah, he really, you can't imagine the amount of pressure that's on the quarterback in a game like that.
Yeah.
And he did produce. They kind of started slowly. The Seahawks were ahead in the first half, but man, they came on in the second half. And they've got a bunch of talent besides Brock Purdy. So he's just a great compliment to the team that they already had. And
he set an NFL playoff record for a rookie by scoring 4 touchdowns in that game. Second game of the day, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the LA Chargers. I shut that off at halftime. It was 27-0. Char thought it was over, and my gosh, Jacksonville came back and won it 31-30.
Yeah, it was no question. It was an unbelievable game to see the Jacksonville Jaguars come back with being so far behind in the first half. But I think they were 2 teams that I think at the end of the day you're going to say they were irrelevant.
Yeah.
They weren't as good a quality a team as say the 49ers had.
Trevor Lawrence started that rookie second season with his first half 4 interceptions, second half 4 touchdown passes, and Jaguars pulled it out. Sunday, 3 games this past Sunday, and the they were talking about, and it surprised a lot of people, the Bills got quite a challenge from the Dolphins, holding on to win 34-31.
And there again, they were starting another new quarterback. Their quarterback had gotten injured before, and they made it a close game. I didn't expect it to be a close game either. I thought the Bills would wipe them out.
Yeah.
But all the games, it turns out, the worst game was the Seahawks game. The widest spread, but all the games were very close, very competitive, and fun to watch.
Dolphins win that game as the biggest underdog in the history of NFL playoffs. They were down by 14 points underdog and ended up, at least for the bettors, if you bet the under there, did well with that. The Giants, 31-24 over the Vikings, and that was some kind of contest.
Yeah, now this was the only game, I think, am I right, of the 5 games that we're talking about, this was the only game that the home team lost.
That's right, exactly.
And I mean, there's a huge home team advantage in any game, but in a playoff game for sure. But this game was it was again a close game.
Yeah.
They were all kind of within a touchdown or so, except for the Seahawks game. But it was an exciting game, fun to play. I really expected Minnesota to win, and was surprised when they lost.
31-24, the Giants won. And by the way, Daniel Jones, the young quarterback for the Giants, became the first quarterback in NFL playoff history. A lot of history made in the wildcard round to throw for at least 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, had at least 70 yards on the ground. So very impressive performance by that young guy.
Yeah, it was. And the thing that it was impressive to me about it wasn't necessarily his 300 yards passing, it was his running. I just never was aware that he was that good of a running quarterback, but he really is. And he got himself out of trouble a lot by taking the ball and scrambling around, finding a receiver or running it.
The win over Minnesota marked the first time the New York Giants won a playoff game since the Super Bowl in February of 2012. Then, this is a wild game. The Bengals 24, the Ravens 17. Quite a contest there.
Yeah, it was. And again, the Ravens didn't have their starting quarterback either. And I think that really hurt them a lot in this particular game. But the Bengals have been the team that I said is going to go back to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. Anyway, I really like their team. I think their defense is very good. They throw the ball well. They run the ball really well. I think they are the team to beat in the AFC this year.
Over the Chiefs, huh?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think if they end up going to Kansas City, Kansas City will definitely have a home field advantage. But I wouldn't count out Cincinnati.
You got a little luck when you reach this round of the playoffs as well. Boy, the Bengals had that too. Tyler Huntley going in for the Ravens, diving over the goal line, had the ball knocked up in the air. His big old lineman Sam Hubbard grabbed it and returned it 98 yards for a winning touchdown. Wow.
I think he was running out of gas.
He was
for those last few yards. But I thought someone would tackle him, the running back or somebody would get him before he even got to the 50-yard line. But man, he took it all the way home, and that was the difference.
And winding up the round of wild card games, we tape on Monday afternoon, so we will not know about the Dallas. We'll put that score up for you with the Dallas Cowboys playing at Tampa Bay. But boy, going into that game, all you kept hearing about is the Cowboys had not won a road playoff game in 30 years, and Tom Brady was 7-0 against Dallas. So it'd be tough for Dallas.
I think it will be tough for Dallas. There is a home field advantage in the playoffs, as I said before. But I think Dallas is due for a rebound. They played well the last 3 or 4 games they played until they got to the last 2, and then they kind of stunk it up.
Yeah, they did.
But I think if they turn it around, and I think they will, that they'll play better and they'll win.
We got that score up on the screen for you now, so you know the score before we do on this. Then next week we'll have a Dallas Cowboy connection, one or the other, to talk about that game, though. All right, Steve, next the divisional round, Saturday, January 21st. It's Jaguars and Chiefs, Giants and Eagles.
Yeah, I don't think the Jaguars have a chance with the Chiefs at all. The Giants and Eagles, they're 2 teams that come out of the same division. They've played each other twice already this year. I think the Eagles won both games, if I'm not mistaken. And I would expect if the Eagles get their quarterback back, and I think he will be back, they'll win the game. But a lot of issues hang on those quarterbacks, and this is no exception. If they have to start their second-team quarterback, then anything can happen.
Then on Sunday they'll wind things up with divisional games. It's the Bengals at the Bills.
Yeah, I still think the Bengals have a very good team, but playing again in Buffalo, I said before I thought the Bengals would get into the Super Bowl, but I forgot about the Bills. I really like Buffalo. I think they've got a great team. I love their quarterback, the way he plays. So I think that's going to be that will be a Super Bowl game, Super Bowl-like game, if those 2 teams end up in the conference championship.
Then we'll put the graphic up to let you know what happened with the Cowboys. And whoever wins that Cowboy-Buck game, they will be playing at the 49ers, 5:30 p.m. That'll be next Sunday on Fox. Then it's Championship Sunday, Steve. NFL Championship game, January 29th, 2 p.m. on Fox, 5:30, the AFC Championship game on CBS.
Yeah, well, again, it should be a great game. If it comes down to whether it's, I don't know, would Cincinnati end up in the game with
Philadelphia
with Kansas City?
Kansas City?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works out. But anyway, I think Kansas City, I know Kansas City is just a high caliber team. I love their coach. I think he does a great job. He former Philadelphia Eagles head coach, but he does a great job with the team, handling the team, getting them motivated to play, and they'll be ready to play. The only thing is that and where they could trip up is in this next game.
Yeah, right.
Because they skipped a game.
That's right. Yeah.
Because being the best in the division or in the conference. And sometimes that can hurt you, not playing that 1 week and everybody else is playing. So, I don't know.
All winds up February 12th, Super Bowl 57, AFC champion, NFC champion, being played at the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. One quick thought before you leave here. Your thoughts on the new TU football coach, Kevin Wilson, the former Ohio State offensive coordinator, taking over the Golden Hurricanes.
I haven't spoken with him myself, but everybody I talk to, and I talk to a lot of people around TU and TU football, they say they really like the guy. They feel like he's a really good fit for TU and is going to do a great job. So I'm optimistic.
Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
Chris. Have us the Super Bowl sometime,
Good to see you, buddy.
The best of the family, too.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have another Hall of Famer coming up next, the Kansas University basketball coach, Ted Owens, talking about the 125th reunion of Kansas basketball this past week.
You did it, Tulsa. You name the team. We name the team. You name the team. The Tulsa Oilers indoor football team kicks off in March, Saturday nights, 7 p.m., BOK Center. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com to get your season tickets now. Don't miss your chance to experience the fast pace, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. TulsaOilersFootball.com. TulsaOilersFootball.com.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
Don't miss out on $250,000 Red Spin returns. Saturdays in January, we'll draw 40 winners to play in our VGT tournament with a $10,000 top prize each tournament. Start earning entries January 1st at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa. Tulsa's top spot for a good time awaits you. Come experience award-winning entertainment and nightlife. Escape and relax. Savor every bite. Then bring it all in for your encore. Only at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa. Voted Tulsa's best.
Well, we're always glad to welcome back at Oklahoma Sports Scene a good friend of ours, Hall of Fame basketball coach for the Kansas Jayhawks, Ted Owens, coached from 1964 to 1983, fourth winningest coach of all time. And coach just got back from Lawrence, a fabulous weekend. What a reunion, the 125th reunion of Kansas basketball. What a time that had to be.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just as perfect as it could be. Of the 200 or so players that came back, about 80 or 90 of them were during my time at.
The most ever for the
Yeah,
wow,
they
great.
were. It was incredible. They, Dr. Allen said years ago. They asked him, "Who's your greatest team? Who's your greatest players?" And Dr. Allen would always say, "Let's wait 25 years and see what they did with their lives, and I'll tell you who my greatest players were." Well, I looked at my guys march out, doctors, attorneys, teachers,
Oh boy, that's
good dads,
Sure.
grandparents, and I thought, boy, Doc would be proud of them.
Well, in all, players, coaches, managers, trainers, staff members from 6 different eras of Kansas basketball were in Lawrence this past weekend. Listen, this group represented or combined to win 6 national championships, 16 Final Fours, 63 conference championships. Boy, what a record.
And the winningest basketball program in the nation.
And you only had one losing coach in the history of Kansas basketball. Who was that coach?
Dr. Naismith, the man who invented the game. Dr. Naismith said to Dr. Allen one time, he said, "Forrest, it's a game to be played. not coached.
I'm so impressed. And how has Kansas continued to maintain such a high level of success, Ted?
Well, one of the reasons they stayed with their coaches.
Yeah.
You know, only 8 coaches in the whole history.
In 125 years.
125
Wow.
years.
Yeah.
And they stayed with them. They supported them, and on the contrasting during that time, Kansas, I went through 6 athletic directors and 6 football coaches.
Golly.
Every time a football coach left, the athletic director.
That's right.
So, but now they have wonderful stability, and of course, Coach Self, I think, is the premier coach in the country, and Lance, the new football coach, and so I think it's a bright day for Kansas sports.
Yeah, and of course, you're in one of the true cathedrals of college basketball, Allen Fieldhouse. My gosh.
Yeah, you know, when I arrived there, it was built in 1955, and I arrived there as assistant coach to Dick Harp, to Coach Harp, and it was only 5 years old at that time, but it was a dirt floor. The only reason they were able to get the steel, it was in the post-Korean war, and so in order to get steel, they had to make it a possible in case they need it for drills, in case we went back to the war. And so for years, it was a dirt floor, and during the season, they'd bring in a wooden floor. As soon as the season was out, they'd take it out. It was like a big barn out of season. But on game night, it was something.
Beware the fog.
And now it's a palace.
It is, absolutely. You know, talk about the coaches who had returned with you, Ted. How many of the head coaches?
There are 4 of us that are alive.
Right.
I'm the oldest at 93, and then Larry Brown, Roy Williams, and then Bill Self.
Amazing. You always tell that story in the past, too, that the difference in your salary and Bill Self's salary through the years.
My first year as head coach at Kansas, I signed a 1-year contract for $10,000. When Coach signed, and now I'm not sure, making $7 whatever
million.
And I asked him one day, I said, Coach Self, are you 500 times better than I was? Can you believe he's making 5 or 6 or 7 times, 100 times what I made?
You were born way too early, Coach.
You bet. People say, you coach basketball at 19 years and you're still working? I said, there's a reason.
That's right. Well, we had some great memories, too, because I, of course, on the other side, the University of Missouri, for years, he was so patient with me. I was a student reporter in the Missouri Tigers there, and he'd come over to old Brewer Field House, and he was patient to sit down, let me take my big recorder and do interviews with Coach here, and had some great battles with the Jayhawks, didn't he, Ted? Including a few fights, I remember, too.
Yeah, fights and basketball game. No, Chris would come down to the bench, and back then the coaches came out while the players warmed up.
I like that.
And now they don't come out and make their appearance.
The security.
But Chris would come over with his little recorder, and we became great friends.
Some of your favorite players are back. Who were some of the players that you coached and got to see the reunion?
I had 5 All-Americans when I was at Kansas. Walt Wesley was my first, and he was back. Dave Robish off the Final Four team of 71 was back. Darnell Valentine was back, and Bud Stallworth didn't make it. He's having some illness, and JoJo White's deceased. So, but they're 80 or 90, and you know, as the years go by and you go back, it doesn't matter whether you were the star of the team or a substitute or the manager or whatever. You were a part of Kansas basketball.
I love the fact you mentioned, too, it's not what you did in terms of points average or rebound average or free throws or assists, but what they become after basketball.
You bet. And Dr. Allen was a wise man, and a lot of his sayings we still use. And I've found out that a lot of the wise sayings that my dad said. I didn't think he knew very much, but but he did, and he would say, "Son, you never spend more than you take in. You never live above your means." And that would automatically disqualify him for office today with 32 trillion in debt.
You had to go for part of your son, Teddy, who's the head basketball coach at Holland Hall, doing a great job out there.
Yeah, so far they haven't lost a game this year, and they bumped them up to 5A, which will make competition a little bit tougher. And
if anything could have topped last weekend, have that new little Jayhawk you kept sending me pictures of, your newest granddaughter.
Well, we were gifted 2 years ago with a little girl, and we already have 3 grandsons, but this little girl comes into our life about a month ago, little Blake Michelle.
Congratulations, Coach, on everything. Always good to have you.
Always great to be with you.
Got to get you back here with Teddy, too. Get a father-son thing going here, too.
You bet. Teddy's doing a tremendous job, and for all the right reasons. He loves his players and devoted to helping them prepare for life.
Another basketball star coming up, Caleb Green, ORU All-American, going to go into their Hall of Fame. He'll be our guest next on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
You did it, Tulsa. You name the team. We name the team. You name the team. The Tulsa Oilers indoor football team kicks off in March, Saturday nights, 7 p.m., BOK Center. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com to get your season tickets now. Don't miss your chance to experience the fast pace, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. TulsaOilersFootball.com. TulsaOilersFootball.com.
Don't miss out on $250,000 Red Spin returns. Saturdays in January, we'll draw 40 winners to play in our VGT tournament with a $10,000 top prize each tournament. Start earning entries January 1st at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa. Tulsa's top spot for a good time awaits you. Come experience award-winning entertainment and nightlife. Escape and relax. Savor every bite. Then bring it all in for your encore. Only at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa. Voted Tulsa's best.
What happens when Rumble of the Oklahoma City Thunder takes on the two fellas in a big vehicle team on the court? They should leave it to a professional. And when it comes to moving the Thunder and all of Rumble's stuff, he should leave it to the professionals.
We got this. Let the pros from two fellas take it from here.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene. Yet another Hall of Famer on the show, or soon to be officially a Hall of Famer. Caleb Green of the Oral Roberts University basketball team. And Caleb, congratulations on that honor. And they're going to recognize you at halftime of that January 28th game with Omaha, the Navy Center. So what's this mean to you to be honored by your school there as a Hall of Famer?
I'm still trying to take it in, man. Still really trying to take it in. It's extremely humbling. And, you know, I guess it'll all flow in after I see it hung up.
Well, I can put up some of his information here that lets you know why he is a Hall of Famer easily. 3-time All-American, 3-time Mid-Continent Player of the Year. Golden Eagles won 3 straight regular season titles when Caleb was in uniform for them there. Led ORU into the NIT tournament in 2005. Back-to-back NCAA tournaments, 2006 and 7. Finished the mid-conference all-time leader in points, rebounds, and free throws. I think that qualifies, Caleb.
Yeah.
Give us some of your background high school-wise and why you chose Oral Roberts University.
I went to Tulsa Memorial. Freshman year, I made varsity. I got on varsity my sophomore year, and then started finding my way my junior year.
Right.
Then senior year, you know, I had a good season. Blossomed out a little bit. Oral Roberts was there the whole way. It was like a loyal girlfriend. Yeah. They never left. And so, you know, I had a lot of schools, a few schools circling around, but they was in and out. Oral Roberts was consistent, and I just went with the hometown guys.
ORU's third all-time leading scorer, by the way, 2,503 points. With all that, what are you most proud of in your career as a Golden Eagle?
Making it to the state tournament. You know, I had me and Ken Tutt, another Hall of Famer.
Yeah, sure, that's right.
I had a cheat code with them guys, man. But yeah, well, when me and Ken Tutt arrived, man, we wanted to change the aura around what people thought of Oral Roberts, man.
Yeah.
And so when we made it that first state tournament, it took us a second, but my junior year, when we made it that junior year, that's when That one was extremely fulfilling.
NCAA tournament, right?
NCAA tournament.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep. When we beat, I believe at that time it was either Chicago State, I believe. It's so long ago, but
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just remember the celebration afterwards.
That's great. What are your thoughts on this season's ORU basketball team? As we start the week, they're 15-4. They're unbeaten 6-0 in the Summer League Conference, including a perfect 11-0 record on the court there at the Mabee Center.
Yeah. No, man, we had some good times in that Mabee Center. We had that thing rocking sometimes. We had it in full capacity, close to full capacity a few times during my career. So, yeah, man, ORU Nation it was a good time in there.
Have you seen this team play yet this season here?
Yeah, I have.
What are your impressions?
He's been unbelievable.
Right?
I seen one of the highlights, shot it from half court for the game.
Right.
How about that?
It made ESPN the second highlight of the week in the top 10.
That's something you dream of. 3, 2, 1 from half court, win the game. But yeah, no, man, that team, the Coach Mills is absolutely phenomenal. You know, he's came in and he's been all what he's been cracked up to be, and he's been taking that program to many heights, and shoot, the sky's the limit, man.
Just a couple seasons ago, of course, all the way to the Sweet 16. And what an impact that's had on that program, right?
Crazy, man. And all of the new things they've been renovating after, they're really taking advantage of the momentum.
That Mike Carter Center, they're about ready to open over there?
Yeah, he deserves it, man, too. And he's been doing a wonderful job. He was there when I was there, man. He's definitely a cornerstone of the university.
What would you tell a young high school player trying to make a decision of where he should go? What's attractive about Oral Roberts University?
Well, what I tell recruits is don't go where you like, go where you loved.
Oh yeah.
Go where you love. And my pitch for Oral Roberts is, where you gonna go? You gonna stay fulfilled spiritually. You got everything you need. They get one of the best centers possible in out of the whole nation. We're gonna be able to boast something ridiculous as far as facilities. And you got a Tulsa County that's got momentum behind it, and they're just coming off a Sweet 16, and the world is yours, as you see Max is doing with it right now.
Yeah. Well, you said you were playing in the early to mid 2000s. How has this game of college basketball changed in that time?
For me, I don't like parts of it. Unfortunately, I don't like the money of the game. Is kind of like it's hard for kids to actually want to stay at a program.
Name, image, likeness.
Yeah. And so that's an unfortunate part, because it was a certain purity when I was playing, where you had to. When you transferred, you was out for a year.
Right. This portal thing, there's no commitment anymore.
Yeah, it's no commitment. When you get a hard time, it takes. That's what makes basketball fun. Getting through adversity. You go, you're not getting along with your coach, you figure it out. Things ain't going well on the court, you play harder. Just transfer to another club, or you follow the money. I just think that part of it is watering it down. But as far as the game of college basketball, man, as you can see, our guy Max and Paul Mills, they play a fun game of basketball.
Yeah, right.
They get up and down and they put that thing in the hole. As you can see, ORU Nation right now, they got them boys 11-0, right?
That's right, yeah.
So hey, man, that's a great brand of basketball.
Go out to the Mabee Center again, January the 28th, halftime of the game with Omaha. They'll be honoring this guy, Caleb Green, putting him in their Oral Roberts University Hall of Fame. And just one time for the camera, give me that smile. Who's that remind you of, huh? I told you he came, sat down here, Wayman Tisdale smile. There's a few and far between. You're a winner for sure. Caleb, thanks for joining, buddy.
Thank you.
Good to have you with us here.
Absolutely.
Come right back with a Chili Bowl wrap-up with another soon-to-be Hall of Famer, I'm sure, Emmett Hahn.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Don't miss out on $250,000 Red Spin returns. Saturdays in January, we'll draw 40 winners to play in our VGT tournament with a $10,000 top prize each tournament. Start earning entries January 1st at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tulsa.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
What happens when Rumble of the Oklahoma City Thunder takes on the two fellas and a big vehicle team on the court? They should leave it to a professional. And when it comes to moving the Thunder and all of Rumble's stuff, he should leave it to the professionals.
We got this. Let the pros from two fellas take it from here.
Well, another fantastic 2 weeks of indoor auto racing, all put together by this man, Emmett Hahn, the founder of the great Chili Bowl. Of course, we had the Tulsa shootout before that, but wow, what a great performance there. Great cars, great drivers, and great action.
And we had great weather all week.
How about that, huh?
That
you can have this outdoors.
Yeah. But it was an outstanding race the whole week. Everybody had a lot of fun. We had big crowds every night. Every night was up from the year before, so that's all we can ask for.
We mentioned this is a Hall of Fame show. He isn't officially yet a Oklahoma Sports Hall of Famer, but he will be. We've been campaigning hard for him, and he certainly deserves this. All the years he's worked on this, and because we go back to, my gosh, you'll remember the great old Tulsa Speedway days together.
Oh, yeah, back in the 60s, 70s,
oh, gosh, I know it. Some great racing there. Well, our videographer, by the way, Thomas Walking Stick, was there on the championship night on Saturday. Cover the action, get our Win Circle interviews for us afterwards. Starting with our new Chili Bowl champion, a California driver, Logan Seavey, and also last year's champion, Broken Arrow's own Tanner Thorson, who finished second. Here's their thoughts after the A feature on Saturday night.
I don't even know what to say. My car was good early. I had it really freed up, and I could, make speed through the middle there. Cannon going by me, I think, helped me kind of, search around, and then I found the top in 3 and 4 pretty early and made some speed there. And I had my car probably too free, but it was just good enough to where I could, hammer the cushion right there off of 4 and just get a good enough run down the front stretch to where I had myself gap through 1 and 2 because I really wasn't that good in 1 and 2 all day, and I felt like I was just spinning down the back stretch, and I thought that was my vulnerable spot. And then once I seen Tanner's nose 3 or 4 times in 3 and 4, I knew if I had even a slight mistake, he'd went right by. So then I kind of pulled down, and as soon as I pulled that down to the bottom, it was pretty revered up, and that was it. I think if I waited even another lap, Tanner would be sitting here, and I'd be in second. So right now I'm driving as good as I ever have. There was a few years there, midget racing with Keith. I was really on top of it, and I feel like the last year or two I've been okay. I just didn't put races together like I did today. I feel like today I ran a good race, and my car was good enough to win, and I put myself in position, and we did it.
I tried. I wasn't going to dump him because I didn't want to get him dumped and obviously wreck him, and I didn't want to get sent to the back, so I wasn't going to dump him, but I got into the middle and caught a little bit of rubber, and I got a good run on him, and I definitely got in the back of him. I was trying to get him up off the bottom, and I could get underneath him, and I got close to him one time, and I tried that one time, but I don't know. It's coming to the end, and if I had another shot at him, no offense, Logan, but I probably would have done it again, But
I thought you'd do it more. I was surprised.
Come on, bro.
I mean, I didn't think you were gonna crash me. But I thought you'd be trying
I would have dumped you. But
I thought you'd try to move me a little bit.
No, but I don't know. I got a lot of respect for him. I've grown up with him. His family, my family have been together every weekend when we were growing karts or racing karts and growing up, and. He's one of the biggest badasses in the motorsports, and he hasn't been able to show it here in the last couple of years in the midget, but he is one of the best in midget racing, and now that he's with Kevin in that car, and he just showed it.
I don't even know yet. I'll let you know tomorrow. For right now, it feels awesome. I didn't even set in until I got the driller and could talk to Kevin for a little bit. And man, I'm just so happy to do it for Kevin. He deserves it, and he'd probably have a lot more. If it wasn't for his accident. So. Like I said, it's just it means a lot to win this race in general, but to win it in the 39 in our first try is really, really cool.
By the way, in 4 previous A-main features, Seavey finished in the top 5 only once. He won it all for car owner and 4-time Chili Bowl winner, Kevin Swendell. That had to be a great moment for Kevin, huh?
Oh, Kevin and then Seavey's wife was, she was ecstatic. You know, I'd seen Amy Swendell earlier in the week, and they was awful proud of what they accomplished.
Well, I know he was so dominant in this Chili Bowl for so many years, wasn't he?
Yes. Yes, he
Kevin,
was.
wow.
Kevin,
yeah.
4 in a row, and he should have won 5. He got crashed in 1.
Well, Emmett, let's go back through the Chili Bowl week, some of the highlights. We'll go back to Monday. Yeah, they've got a lot of local flavor in this race for us. Bixby's Cannon McIntosh won his 3rd preliminary feature in 4 years on Monday.
I'll tell you what, Cannon, it's nothing, it wasn't surprising to me because the turkey night out in California and LA, 2 years ago, he led it for 80 laps until the radius rod broke. So Cannon's, he's a racer, so it wasn't surprising.
Tuesday night, we had Bixby's own Cannon McIntosh. He won his one of the first ever, won the 3rd preliminary feature in 4 years. He's been really consistent there.
Yes, he is. Yeah. I mean, he's the real deal.
Got it. And then Thursday, Sand Spring driver Hank Davis, his first ever preliminary feature, upset winner in that race, he said.
Well, it was an upset, and I forgot whose car he was driving. It may have been a Keith Kuntz car, right. And he done a great job. I mean, it's you can have best car out there and best driver out there, but you need a little bit of Chili Bowl luck too, and he had it all that night.
Sand Springs Hank Davis, the Tuesday night star. Wednesday, 2-time Chili Bowl champion Rick ORU won his 8th career preliminary feature.
What was amazing about that is when they came around and got the white flag, Rico was running 3rd. Ooh. And then came back in 1 lap to win it. So that's how close it was.
And how big is that 1 lap on that track?
It's just a little over a 5th mile.
You got to do some driving to get past those guys there. Thursday, defending champion, Broken Arrow's own Tanner Thorson. He's been on the show with us here. He came back from last to first. He spun out early in a heat race, but he made the finals for the 9th straight time.
Not only did he spin out, he was doing a wheelie as he was spinning out. And I seen that. Come back and won it. And that night in his feature, his car was working better than anybody worked all week long.
Friday, this year's champion Logan Seavey beat fellow Californian Justin Grant to win the final prelim feature and get in the A feature.
And Justin Grant's no slouch. Yeah. I mean, he's won a lot of races, and I'll tell you what, you got to give the Swendells credit for having the car set up like it was and running like it was.
And we want to get Emmett, have you give us an update, Emmett, on that young 16-year-old driver, Ashton Torgensen, who flipped his car, ejected from it onto the track 10 laps into Wednesday's midget feature. And how's the young man doing?
He was back out the racetrack Saturday night, talked to the crowd, him and his dad and his family.
Oh, that's great.
Now, if it had been you or I, we'd been going to a funeral
that's
now. But in all my years of open wheel racing and everybody in the pits, they have never seen anybody get ejected out of an open wheel car.
How does that happen? You have the cage, you got all the safety gear. I mean, how does it happen?
Simpson that makes the belts, they're all looking at the car to see what happened.
Yeah.
You know, that would make that happen, because he's this kid has got 9 lives. I mean, I looked one time, he was halfway out of the car and it still flipped one more time, and then there was cars coming with him laying on the racetrack. So he's very, very fortunate.
Then it all wound up, of course, with the big A feature Saturday, a huge crowd, as they always are for the Chili Bowl, and some great racing there too, I'll tell you.
There was some good racing. Up until about lap 40, it was very, very exciting. And my track man told me Thursday, he said, Emmett, I can fix a racetrack for 20 laps, or I can fix one for 40 laps. It's 55 laps. It's stretching us out on keeping a racetrack like you need it. So I've got to do some thinking right there.
Talk about the finish. You had a little different than the finish there for that race. Green, white flag.
Yeah, in fact, Tanner was running second there now for probably the last 15 or 20 laps, and they was bumper to bumper. And I thought, oh no, something bad's going to happen here. But they both done a good job, and it ended up just bumper to bumper. I mean, it was.
Wow. Well, the races, of course, was big competitors, but also good friends. And Hey, listen to your soundbite. You heard the post-race interviews there with Tanner saying, I had the line, and I knew Logan was going to find it. He's coming after me down on that same line, too.
Yeah, he did. And like I say, the top was there early, or about midway of the race, because that kid in the 17 car from California, he was up on the top, and he was coming. And then the top went away, and he had to drop back down to the bottom. But it was a good race.
Another thing you did differently this past year, let the fans come in free of charge to watch some of the warm-ups and activities, practices on that Sunday before the races got started. How'd that work out?
It worked out all right. I mean, we had quite a few people. I'd like to see a lot of local people come out.
Yeah.
You know, instead of having to buy a $60 ticket, come out and you get to watch all 367 cars run twice on Sunday. And so I think it'll just get better and better.
How tired is Emmett Hahn?
This old man is wore out.
Emmett, thanks for coming on, taking the time with us again on the show. Great chili bowl as always. Appreciate your support too. Thank you, buddy.
I appreciate it, Chris.
And he will be, trust me, soon, an Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame member, and very well deserved. Come back to talk about ORU's baseball diamond dinner with their head baseball coach, Ryan Folmar, right after this.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank. We never forget it's your money.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Back at Billy Sims Barbecue in the Farm Shopping Center in Tulsa, time to talk a little baseball. Kind of warm me up with that thought. Ryan Folmar, the ORU baseball coach, did a great job there. We're just talking about a decade now, 10th season there?
Yeah, seems like a lot longer than that sometimes, and then other times doesn't seem very long at all. But 20 total years at ORU, 10 as an assistant, now somewhere around 10 as a head coach. So
well, they've had great success at ORU University when it comes to baseball. They're coming off their 26th conference championship, their 29th NCAA tournament appearance, and a 38-20 regular season. And how the prospects look for 2023.
Well, hopefully we can just keep building on that kind of season. We had a good season. We had a good run. The good and the bad part of that is, we did have a good year, but the bad part of that is you lose a lot of those pieces and a lot of those players. So you look at this year's roster, and we have 19 new players. So,
well, the program, by the way, is also rated by Collegiate Baseball as one of the top recruiting classes in the country this past year, and the #1 recruiting class in the Summit League.
Yeah, again, some of the good, some of the bad, right?
Yeah,
we had to replace a lot of really good players, but we felt like we did a good job, throughout the fall and throughout the spring, and even through the summer, feeling like we filled some holes in terms of recruiting. So we're looking forward to getting out there and starting to compete a little bit and really figure out what kind of team we have.
This marked the 3rd consecutive year, by the way, that the Oral Roberts baseball recruiting class was ranked among the tops in college baseball. You welcome us at 18 transfers, 1 freshman. 18 transfers hail from 5 power college baseball programs from 2-year schools. Also, this recruiting class features players from Arizona, Arkansas, California, Canada, Colorado, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New York, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas.
Yeah.
That portal is busy, isn't it?
It's very busy. The portal has changed the landscape of recruiting in college athletics. So you have to find a way to leverage the portal and how it's going to make your program better. As you said, we have 19 new players. 18 of those are transfers. Some of them junior college, some of them guys that are out of the portal and only one freshman. So I think you're going to see that a lot more. But again, we're trying to find a way to leverage the portal.
Pitching, it all starts there. How are the pitching prospects for the Golden Eagles?
Good. We had a great year on the mound a year ago.
Yeah, right.
Legend Smith was an All-American. Isaac Coffey was also an All-American, a 10th round pick with the Boston Red Sox. So you lose a lot of your rotation. So the big questions for us are going to be how we fill some of those spots in our rotation. We feel like at the back end of the game, we have a returning All-American in Cade Denton who can really solidify the back end of our bullpen. We feel like our bullpen is probably the strength of our pitching staff right now. Got to solidify that rotation.
I know ORU fans are awfully proud of some of the guys you sent on the major leagues. It really made a big difference.
Yeah, big year for us last year.
Yeah.
Jose Trevino and Jordan Romano were both made their first All-Star game appearances.
Wow.
So pretty cool thing to sit back and watch two of your former players get their first All-Star appearances. So pretty big year in terms of Major League Baseball. Also, Jeremy Hefner was is a pitching coach with the New York Mets, representing the program really well. Chichi Gonzalez still bouncing around up and down in the big leagues still last year too. So we have a lot of guys that are out there doing a lot of big things.
You mentioned Jeremy Hefner, the New York Mets pitching coach. He's going to be your special speaker, special guest at your big Diamond Dinner coming up. That's going to be at Glenpool Convention Center, 27th of January.
Yeah, January 27th, our annual Diamond Dinner fundraising event, our biggest fundraising event of the year, and we're lucky enough to have Jeremy come back and be the keynote speaker in that event. But a silent auction, a live auction, have a lot of cool auction items that we auction off throughout the night, so should be a good night.
Ryan Folmar, head baseball coach at Oral Roberts University, but how hard you have to coach the Mets pitching rotation? Includes what? Verlander?
Well, they got Scherzer and Verlander at the front end of that rotation, so I think
just
a lot
give
of
them
times,
the ball, right?
Yeah, you step back and maintain or make sure they have a good routine and let them go from there. But fortunate, he had that staff last year too. They had a really good staff last year, and Jeremy did a great job because they had a ton of injuries throughout the year.
I know.
In the rotation and in their bullpen, but did a great job of really piecing that thing together for the Mets.
So again, it'll be the 27th of January at the Glenpool Convention Center. Beautiful facility out there too. And some of the highlights you mentioned, silent and a live auction.
Yeah, both silent and a live auction. We're actually going to do it online. So if you can't get tickets to the event, you can't make the event. If you check it out on social media, we'll have an opportunity for people to check out those auction items online. So again, one of the things that kind of kicks off the year for us, gets everything going, raise a little money, talk a little baseball, knowing that it's right around the corner.
Scott Higgins wouldn't forgive me if we didn't try to sell some tickets. How do you get tickets to this event?
Well, you can go through tickets. You can go on our website, www.oru.com, and you can order tickets that way. You can get online. You can find us on social media. There's several ways to get in.
I asked Scott, how can I get a couple tickets? Buy them. Get money with the ORU baseball program. Let's talk about your schedule coming up here.
Yeah.
55-game schedule. 2023 is going to feature 27 home contests at J.L. Johnson.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We have a really good home schedule. The schedule, again, is challenging. We start at home. We open up in Northern Illinois.
February 17th to 20th.
February 17th through 20th. That's a Friday through Sunday series. Then we're on the road to Texas State. We come back home and play Stephen F. Austin. And we're back on the road to Dallas Baptist. We also have Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Missouri State, Wichita State. So the schedule is loaded. The schedule is packed. We're excited to finally get started. For our guys, we get them on campus in August.
Yeah.
We practice an awful lot before we get to play that first game, so our guys will be ready to go. 27 home games against 12 teams, by the way, that made the NCAA tournament this past year. Yeah, again, a challenging schedule. I think you look at our schedule over the last several years, we've done a good job of really balancing the schedule. The conference continues to improve, continues to get better, but that schedule is still pretty difficult.
One more time, give us the facts and where we need to go to be part of your Diamond Dinner.
Yeah, January 27th, Glenpool Convention Center. Jump online, check us out online, and they'll point you in the right direction to get some tickets. Or if you can't do that, check out the auction online as well.
And get out and support ORU Baseball, one of the best baseball facilities in the country, and still is, isn't it? J.L. Johnson all these years.
We're lucky to have a beautiful home.
Yeah, absolutely. Get down with us. Again, get out and support Golden Eagle Baseball, and get out there for that January 27th Glenpool event, convention center there for their Diamond Dinner. I'm going to come back, and I've got my 2 cents worth. Equity Bank presenting that when we return.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank, we never forget it's your money.
You did it, Tulsa. You name the team. We name the team. You name the team. The Tulsa Oilers indoor football team kicks off in March, Saturday nights, 7 p.m., BOK Center. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com to get your season tickets now. Don't miss your chance to experience the fast pace, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. TulsaOilersFootball.com. TulsaOilersFootball.com.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
Welcome back, and here's what's happening at The Rock in January. You win your share of $250,000 cash, $250,000 Saturday this month at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Hard Rock Hotel and Casino's January Red Spin Tournament. And The Rock has a January 27th $30,000 cash drawing. That's coming up on Friday, January 27th, 8 and 10 p.m. $30,000 cash drawings, Friday, January 27th. More concerts, just to take a look at the entertainment coming to Hard Rock in January and February. Check their website. Fresh off the roll on TV's popular Yellowstone series, Shane Smith and the Saints will be playing January 21st out at the Hard Rock. Our little honky-tonk group known as Track 5 Fest turns 4 years old in February. Come celebrate with us, featuring a weekend of great free shows like Heath Sanders on February 2nd, Chris Cagle on February 3rd, Chad Cook Band on February the 4th. Dance floor will be open. They'll have great drink specials too. That's all at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, voted Tulsa's best. And now for my commentary, Equity Bank presents my Lincoln's 2 cents worth. This past college bowl season may not have been too exciting for a lot of our fans, including the national championship blowout of 65-7 loss by TCU to Georgia. But it was quite rewarding for the coaches involved in those bowl games. In fact, coaches received, listen to this, $12.2 million in bonuses, led by Michigan's head coach Jim Harbaugh. He took the Big 10 championship and the Wolverines to the CFP semifinals. He got $12.2 million. National and SEC champion Georgia coach George Kirby Smart, earned $1.5 million in contract bonuses. The next top 3 were Utah's Kyle Whittingham. He got a $650,000 bonus. LSU's first-year coach Brian Kelly, $575,000. Clemson's Dabo Swinney added $400,000 to his multi-million-dollar annual contract. Locally, Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy picked up an extra $62,500 for winning 6 games and getting the Cowboys to a bowl game. And all these bonuses on top of multi-million-dollar contracts. So how'd your bonus look this year? Yeah, me too. That's my Equity Bank Lincoln's 2 cents worth. See you next week, and until then, be a good sport.